Well, hello and welcome to Aaron and Zach's Ocoee video show. Actually, we're not, that was a joke just because I have the Ocoee up there. We have a little more Ocoee footage that I found. But our show is now called Better Than Mediocre. We've been semi-lame for a while, and somebody wrote us an email, and he's like, you guys are actually better than mediocre. So that's a big step up because that's a big range. That's mediocre all the way to the best ever. Right, it's a huge range. I think he meant
true.
Slightly
That's
better
true.
than
Greater than mediocre is a good sign.
It could be amazing. The show could be amazing, or it could just be slightly better than mediocre. I like the vagueness of it, so appreciate it. Whoever wrote that to us in the email. Oh, let me turn off. That was making noise. And this is a show Aaron and I do Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific time, where we just review videos and chat and bring up topics. And I don't know, it's just a rafting thing. I've been thinking about the show a little bit, Aaron, and it's kind of weird that we do it. We basically put ourselves in YouTube Live. It's pretty egotistical to say, hey, listen to us talk and review videos. And it is actually kind of egotistical, I think. But it's something you and I would probably do anyway. Like, get on the phone and like, hey, did you see this video? Did you see that video? And so it's on YouTube for those of you that care to watch with us and want to hear our insights. But it's most interesting to me as a chance for a few of us to get together every week. Those of you out there in the audience that like this sort of thing and be part of this. So please, add a comment, add your thoughts. We'll try not to be too harsh on anybody's comments because sometimes I know we are. But this is just like something fun that Aaron and I like to do. If there's no viewers, we'd still do it. So if the fact that a few of you are watching, thank you. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe and do other things. And you ready for a good show today, Aaron?
Hey, Zach, how are you doing in your total whatever followers? What number are you at now?
You mean YouTube subscribers?
Yeah, it's YouTube subscribers, sorry.
We're just like over 5,000, like 5,400.
Have we moved up at all? Has it moved at all since we talked about it last time?
I mean, it has. I get about 10 subscribers a day. But I wouldn't say it's from this show. It could be from my Gear Garage shows. It could just be from a video I put out about blasting Condit Dam 10 years ago, whatever. Who knows if it's our listeners who are subscribers. And YouTube subscriber is a vanity metric, right? It doesn't, like, you don't have to subscribe to the show to be shown this in your YouTube feed or whatever. So it's more of just like, it's a vanity thing. So I can walk around and be like, how many subscribers do you have? And, when people make fun of me for being a YouTuber, if I only had 200 subscribers, they'd be like, yeah, that's pretty lame. But if I was like, I have 5,000, they're like, oh yeah, that's sizable. That's a real number. So
thanks, Jacob. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Jacob,
I'm really hoping is to stroke my ego and be like, hey, you got to 5,000 because of the show, and really
because of you,
because of me. Because everything else I'm not on, and so that's why.
No, you're in some of my favorite Gear Garage episodes. We did that one about risk management and IKs. That is one of my favorite. We did remember the Arctic Guidehouse in Grants Pass. Yeah. That's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
You're at these shows. Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't get more YouTube subscribers. So what Aaron and I talked about is like, let's take the audio from. It's kind of weird. The audio from a video show. You kind of miss the video. And make it a podcast. And it's something we've talked about, but it just takes time and energy. And maybe in the fall when my season's over, we'll do that. Because it would be, I mean, I know that I listen to YouTube shows while I'm driving sometimes, just because I like to hear news things and I really like the other rafting podcasts or like the kayaking podcasts because I just like the chatter about boating. So I can see why some people might like this mindless, better than mediocre chatter while they're driving.
Don't you also have a rafting podcast, a river podcast?
We do River Talk podcast, but we haven't. I mean, Eric and Priscilla and I do it, but getting the three of us together these days is impossible. So I have this thinking that River Talk podcast might die here pretty soon. So we'll see. Getting the three of us to agree on a time and a place has been difficult. So, but yeah, we've thought about it. And Roddy, thanks for the nice comment.
Yeah, appreciate
glad you enjoyed the show. So here we are back at Broken Nose on the Akoi. In today's show, we just want to share a lot of just videos. These are videos Aaron, you emailed me, some people have emailed me. They've been on a list of mine, and we're just going to power through a bunch of them and review them. And this one has some just cool stuff happening. Put an audio down. This is...
Can you get rid of the thing below the bottom?
That?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is from Fast Fred Ruddock, who, if you don't subscribe to him, you should. While we're going through this, I'm gonna find his.
Do you think they're hitting that hole at an angle on purpose to slow themselves down and set themselves to move back left? Those rafts that we just saw, because both of them kind of did the same thing, didn't they? Let's not watch kayakers. I mean, it's really boring watching kayakers. Let's be honest here.
But you think that they went here on purpose?
They kind of hit it, and then this one here, they hit it with an angle with the right side, and then it slows them down and it sets them up pointing out that way. And then I thought both of them did that. We only saw the second. We didn't say the first raft again.
I mean, it seemed to have worked.
Yeah.
Maybe that's if you're a really good line. Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's a classic move though, is not hitting a hole straight on purpose. So it will slow you down and it'll turn your boat and set you up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say for beginner boaters, maybe don't do that. But as you want to hit hole straight. But as you get better,
I know what's going to happen here. Oh,
as you start to get better, you learn what you can and can't do with holes, and you might hit it at an angle to just like to push yourself over, like Aaron's talking about.
This is that William Neely Neely
ads.
Video. Oh,
what do you mean the William Neely video?
William McNeely, he had that book about kayak, like learn to kayak.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this great little cartoon about all the kayakers sitting in the eddy. They're talking trash about the raft coming down. And then they all of a sudden realize that the raft's going to run them over. Like that raft looked like it just did. Oh, boy.
So I guess his name's Fast Fred.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
I'm going to put Fred's YouTube channel in the comments. You guys take a second, subscribe. I know he'd dig the subscribers. And thank you, Fast Fred, for putting these videos online for us to look at.
See those first boats, they hit it with that other angle, and they didn't go crushing into the eddy. They stayed out of the eddy.
Do you ever go into holes like going in with some angle and then turning into them and using it like an airplane wing over the hole? I do this a lot. So instead of just going straight through a hole, I'll purposely have a little bit of angle ahead of time, and then as I go into it, turn, and that I feel like that tube will like ride up a little bit more over the hole. I don't know if it works, but I feel like it works.
I've tried something similar, but I don't think try like that. Yeah, I don't know if I do that actually.
Oh yes.
Oh man. Oh, this is awesome.
This shouldn't be legal. Whatever's happening here.
Good boat spacing, right, Zach? Good boat spacing here.
I mean, boat spacing here is tough. I think good boat spacing. I think you have to send the first boat down for safety. I don't know how to boat space this. I think it's hard because there's probably a lot of rookie,
different spot now, or the water level's different.
Yeah,
lower.
A lot of rookie guides out there. I think that creates problems. Ooh. I can see myself. Oh, my guy just fell out. I can see myself making that
too, just to make it more. Sometimes guys, I think, do that also just to make it more violent.
It's called broken nose, so I would personally be very conservative here. It's a tough spot in my mind, safety wise, because it's so continuous afterwards. Mm-hmm. Like you could have swimmer pandemonium downstream. If there was a flat pool below here, I think I'd be more willing to mess around. But the fact that if you had multiple swimmers, they could just go, that seems problematic.
You see the guy just holding him in the hole and surfing him, and he's like sitting on a rock. Oh, he just swam into the guy. This is interesting. The guy's not even in the boat. He's just holding him to the side.
Standing on the bottom of the river, it looks like. They just lost a paddle.
And he told him to swim. Yeah, nice swim to an eddy there by that guy. That was great.
So is the guy trying to get in the boat, or is he trying to pull the boat out? He just put his paddle in.
I don't know. He's just kind of hanging out. He looks pretty mellow.
Oh, he might get. Oh, he's just gonna spin it around. Now they're gonna swim out of that side. This is the problem when you're surfing one direction. If you spin the boat, everybody was high siding. And if they don't know to high side again, they'll fall out and go into the boat. So Aaron, how do you get this boat out? What's the solution?
Well, I'm more, my big concern for him right now is like, if he does get the boat and he goes downstream, is he leaving his guest behind? I think what he's doing kind of makes sense. I think he's going to have him climb back into the boat while it's surfing in the hole. So he gets everyone back in the boat, and then he gets the boat out of the hole. So I think
how's he going to get the?
Yes,
that makes
that's exactly.
sense. I mean, he has a boat downstream too. We can send the people. If he leaves them behind, there's another one of his company boats just downstream.
Downstream or upstream, but they have to walk down. No, I think this looks like it's actually working pretty well.
A heavier boat's going to surf. I mean, we're more likely to surf. Right? He's going to have a harder time getting the boat out now that it's full. And now people are going to fall out again. Like there's people on the low side are going to have a really hard time staying in.
We'll see. I think it's going to work for him, Zach.
See, the problem, Aaron, is the boat's full of water. Once the boat's just full of water like this, it's so heavy in the hole. This is like my velvet surf a couple weeks ago, like a month ago. Once it's full of water and it's side surfing like this, there's nothing you can do as a guide. He's doing it right. He's trying to spin the bow in, hoping that he can get the bow in. But there's so much water in that boat.
It's working.
It's not working because he's still in the hole.
Yeah, but then he gets that when he can forward out of it.
Now he's sideways. Is he gonna have a swimmer right now?
Now he can have him forward out of it.
Oh.
Forward out of it. Have people on the right side forward paddle.
The people on the left can't paddle forward. Oh, there's another boat stuck too. That's amazing. I think the air floors make it easier because the air is drained faster. So as soon as you get that boat out a little bit, it's going to start draining, and I think it'll come out easier when it drains. That's my guess.
But there's two things. There's how quickly it drains like the water out from above the floor, and then there's the fact that it stays heavy because there's water in the floor. So there's two variables.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like I was thinking more that I thought Blue Moon was talking about that fact. All right, I stand corrected. That didn't really work for him. I thought he really knew what he was doing. I thought he did it before. I was like, this guy looks like he's done this before.
I want the spreadsheet to reflect that. So this is the thing: is if you can get the bow in there, especially that bow because there's rocker, and just like there we go. Let it drain. See how fast that boat drained? Let it drain. Oh, water keeps coming in. Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Maybe he's doing this on purpose, just having fun.
He's not at this point. It's fun for. Maybe it's. I mean, and imagine how many boats are waiting for him to get through. Like no kayakers going. Oh, there they go. They're like, we're tired of this guy. Or he maybe bet his friends. He was like, hey, I bet I can do a 20-minute surf tomorrow. This is having done something like this recently at Velvet, like I showed you guys a few weeks ago. This is a very helpless feeling when you're in the back of a boat with your passengers and there's nothing. That paddle is not doing anything. Like there's nothing he can really do to get out of there. He needs help.
I mean, he doesn't really need. He could just jump back out of the boat and hold on to the side like he did before, and he could have everyone just climb out of the boat the way they climbed in it. I mean,
just get everybody out of the boat.
I mean, if you want, he could have done that too. I mean, now looking at it, going back to that spot where he had those people jump back in, he might have been better.
This might do it.
This will work. There it is. He's out.
Did they do that? That's a different company. Did they do that on purpose? It's like, hey, we're gonna get this guy out. The Kobe is amazing. Okay, that's not good.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh yes.
Oh geez.
Is this why it's called Broken Nose? Yeah, it's a Kobe.
Wow. Oh boy.
I don't think a standard flow rafting.
This is unbelievable. This is like.
Oh, let this one hit it, please. I mean, do you think this is something that a really like a seasoned third-year guide would never have these problems, or is this just sort of inevitable?
Well, I wouldn't use seasoned with third-year guide, first of all.
Yeah, but let's say no. That's what I'm saying. Like not a seasoned guy, but a seasoned third-year guy. Somebody's been around for 3 years. That seems like an amount of time where you can figure out how to not make mistakes like this, right?
I'm gonna say it depends on the guide too. I think some guides up to 3 years, yeah, they're no problem with it. But then you got the other ones who like still aren't figuring it out. Yeah, this is yeah.
Do you think that boat is going to flip? The one up on the rock. I mean,
No, I don't think it's gonna flip. It's NRS.
oh, there they go. There they go. Oh yes. Was that dude there to help them, or
I don't know. That's
impressive.
also the other one went all the way around. Now he gets to. They did get stuck on the other. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I
sure
don't know what to say about this.
oh, now this guy who? I mean, he looks like an experienced guide, right? He's got all the things like the
This isn't
attitude, the long hair. Is that
when you hire, you look for long-haired guides so you know they're more?
No, I'm just saying like I'm just saying like
Oh,
this isn't a first-year guide. He's got a smile on his face, thinks it's funny. Like he's got a whistle. He obviously is comfortable in the back of the boat. He probably, I mean, honestly, he probably just told his guests like, "Hey, don't fall out. I got this. Like, just chill out. Look, their paddles are up. They're in the get down position. Like, let's just take our time and slowly get off of this."
I don't like that get down position.
Why?
I don't like the paddles up in the air. I think they're gonna fly around and hit somebody. Like,
Are they going
the
to?
guy in the back,
Are they going to right now?
Look, it's right by his face. Look how close.
Yeah,
his face
I mean,
is
at
to him right
in this example, I think that is fine. I think in a rapid, you're right. But like, hey, guys, I just need you to just stay at the bottom of the boat right now and don't lose. Oh, here we go. Oh, right into the surf hole. Oh, dude.
Is this like? Is the guy videoing to like sell video for people to take home and show their friends?
I think so.
Because I don't
know. Is coffee? Hey, human reaction rationally is human coffee the coffee table. Is that where he was just stuck? I bet that's what it's called. Where he's just stuck on the left there. Lots of guys was their first heat. What does that mean? His first heat, like a dog goes into heat? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it means. So that's a bummer. Now he's in that same bad
First
situation.
year.
So here, this is what is probably. He just wrapped the rope around his wrist. You see that?
No, he didn't, did he? I don't think he did.
Let me go back. This is the first thing he did. This is an interesting thing. This guy's obviously experienced because he has the hair, he has the PFD, he has the carabiners, he's got the sweet helmet, got the hair. He's all the things that just experienced guys.
Just make a bunch of broad generalizations based upon the way somebody.
But I think the solution to this is probably a rope, which is scary because you're adding a rope to a bunch of people and they can get wrapped around people. So it's like this is something. Watch this right here.
Catches it. No, he doesn't wrap it around. He just pinches.
Right there.
Left hand. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, that did look like a wrap. But then it doesn't look like he was wrapped. He must have
Okay, so here we go. Oh.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's working very well for him.
He needs to. Yeah, I mean, if it's his best option so far. So once the boat drains, there he goes. Let the boat. Oh, it's hitting those rocks. But now that the boat's drained, it shouldn't be that hard to get off.
Back paddle. There you go. Use your crew.
They need a guide to come over and just push it off. Or the guide just did that. Push it off that rock a little bit. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That rope is kind of scary because you're adding this rope and you get tangled within people. But you're also, it's kind of how you're going to get out. I mean, you know how in that video we did where I was like, just make lunch and it'll eventually come out? Remember we did a long time ago, we reviewed, and I was like, hey, that gear boat was surfing. And I'm like, just make lunch. Like, it'll come out eventually. I think this happened to me on Velvet. These paddle boats, when they're stuck sideways in these hold like this, are not going to come out.
Dude, this is a place to go have lunch, though, right here. Just hang out on shore.
Just watch. That's what I think the Fast Fred does. He comes here with a camera. And this is how you grow your YouTube following right here. Just
I'm going to say though, you know, Zach, like all the guides though, you know, you're talking about inexperience, maybe they avoid, but like this, like in general, what I'm seeing is really controlled. People aren't being exposed much. Like no one's falling out of the rafts.
Yeah.
I think that one where the raft dropped on top of the other, that was a little scary, and that was like, eh. But most of the stuff looks very controlled. People are patient. They're not rushed. There doesn't look like they're, you know, there's no panic in the situation. Like it's moving people around, trying different stuff.
Yeah.
I will say I'm a big fan of just jumping up and down a little bit, you know, getting a little bounce on a boat like that. I bet they just bounce it like that guy before did, it would come off. But then they're going to get surfed in the hole. So
I think this guide is just being very thoughtful.
Yeah.
There's like I think a lot of times you're rushed.
I'd rather have people bounce in the spot where they're sitting before you start moving people all over the boat. Because I think you start moving people on the boat, you have a lot more problems for weird waiting of the boat things to happen, and just more issues are coming up from that.
Yeah, you mean all the guests? Hey, everybody, jump up and down.
Yeah, like everyone just jump up and down a little bit. I feel like I would do that before doing what this guy's doing is moving everyone in the back. I think this is a great tool in the toolbox, but I would have them jump up and down first and just see how that goes before going to this. Never, no, dying to. This looks amazing. Yeah, I gotta make a trip out there, man. This looks like a mecca. She did
a great job. She got it off.
Yeah, it worked. It totally worked.
Into the hole.
Into
the hole. Oh, that's scary because you go right from that thing into the hole. I paddled in the Southeast a little bit. We went kayaking. No, we were paddling, so we didn't do normal rivers. We were doing some creeks.
Man,
Super Kevin, Dan, and I went out there, met Timmy, and went paddling. No, we didn't meet Timmy. One of Timmy's friends, and paddled for a week.
Yeah.
That sucks. You go right from that coffee table into this. So I think, Aaron, you have in this boat. So this is an NRS, bigger tubes and those airs. It's just look how much water there is in that boat.
Totally. The NRS boats don't have very many holes on the bottom of them,
and they drain really slow. So the only way you're getting out of this, I think, is an external force, like that person pulling from shore. Which, Aaron, have we seen anybody get out on their own without the other one? The other one was a rope. The one before that was a raft slamming into them. That boat is, especially this boat, it is full of water. And the paddling on the right side is.
Well, I think they're all drawing downstream. They're all drawing downstream. I think I would do a forward. I would forward out to the center of the river, if that makes sense.
That guy's pushing him out there. Let it drain. You can't. It's hard to forward.
Instead of drawing right now, I'd have everyone do a forward paddle on the right side and just force the boat as far over.
But the nose will just keep going into it.
No, because there's more current out there on that end. You just keep paddling it.
I don't know, man. There's so much weight in that boat.
All
that water is crazy.
But then also, Zach, if you've got everyone paddling on the right side, it's going to turn the boat so you're going to want to surf across the hole from river right to river left. So I think I'd like to see what would happen with that.
This is Fast Fred's video. Pretty soon this is going to become Fast Fred's Akoi video review show because his video is just so awesome. There's the throwback. So here again, like I think this is, I hate using ropes, but this is the solution. He's asking the guest to clip it on, which I think is marginal. I think he could have clipped it onto that stern on his own. Having a guest clip it worked, but man, that would have worried me for some reason. They just needed to drain. And Homeboy needs some help.
Well, if they're pulling from the other side, they'd have better leverage.
Okay, now if it just drains, let it drain. Let it drain. It just needs to drain, and he'll get it off.
There you go. That works.
Yeah, so this is where the air will drain twice as fast, right? Like an airboat will drain. Like the NRS takes so much time to drain. You gotta just be patient and let it drain there. Hold on.
Basically, you're talking
Right.
about a glued-in floor versus a laced-in floor. The laced-in floors just drain faster. Like the wing would drain faster, the air would drain faster, the Sotar would drain faster, right?
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's laced in versus. Hold on, laced in versus. I'm getting the next video. I'm not sure if it's laced in versus holes, but I can tell you a fact: airboats drain fast. They drain stupidly fast. Let's see if I can make this.
Whoa.
There we go. Aaron, you sent me this, right?
Yeah, totally. So I'm wondering, is this worth practicing? Do you think you could do this consistently?
No, even in my youth, I tried this. I couldn't do it. So this isn't.
Yeah, but you're not good at going over the side of the boat anyways. You like going up from the ends. I mean,
No, but
maybe.
even like I would go out. Why isn't this? I'm trying to refresh this and make it work again.
I mean, he makes it look pretty easy.
Can't get this to work again. But I've tried this. He doesn't make it like it's not like that easy. Let's see if I can load this again. Yeah, stop loading for some reason. But I think it's worth practicing because it develops your just like comfort on your feet. It develops your ability to mess around in rafts. You're not going to do this in real life. I mean, this guy probably did 10 of these to get this one. I've tried it, man. It is hard. It is really hard to do. Operates on the Chia. I'm not sure what that means. Most companies use the COEs, air armor. See, yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, they're using RMRs probably because they're less expensive and they're based in West Virginia, I believe. I think the air as a day trip boat on a low volume river is pretty sweet. They're pretty sweet boats. Oh, come on, Aaron.
I'm gonna say why I don't like them though, because when you get to take out, you have to pick it up and carry it up to the trailer. It's freaking heavy. You have to wait for it all that water to
just get some muscles there. Aaron, just get some muscles.
Nah, I take it easy on my back. That's
wait, hold on. So the reason you don't like the airs is simply because they're heavy at takeout.
Yep, exactly, totally.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's totally Didn't we watch
on river though? On river, they're pretty amazing.
I don't like the way they track either. I feel like they just kind of go with the river. They don't track across it well because you've got all that weight in the floor, and so the floor follows the river more. So if you want to just be in the current the whole time, great. If you want to like track around rocks and stuff like that, not so good.
The other thing with the boat being heavy, you can just make them vertical, let the water drain, and then carry it.
Yeah, you got to lift it up. You got to wait, and you got to be like, okay, guys,
just wait
here for the water to drain out.
It's a technically superior boat on water. Like have the safety on water and just wait 2 minutes. You can wait, Aaron.
I'm gonna say I really like the Air Pumas. I like that boat a lot. I think it's a really fun boat. Enjoy paddling it a lot. Like the Super Pumas. Don't like their 14 footers.
We're not talking about that.
The 14 footers do not track well. The 14 footers do not track well. I used one on the North Fork of the American and I did not like it at all. I was just like, it was sloppy.
It's because it's not what you're used to.
It like skids out. What?
It's you're not used to it. It's not what you learned.
No, it doesn't track. It doesn't track.
It doesn't track. But if you learned on airs, you wouldn't need to track. You'd have a different skill set.
But it's like when you have your boat stern heavy and it doesn't track well there. It's not as good as when you have a little weight in front of you and you can swing around rocks. It works way better.
The big advantage of the airs, they're less likely to flip. So would you rather have less chance of flipping?
How often do you actually flip? First of all.
Not very often, but if I'm working day trips, like the white salmon over here, for example, almost everybody uses airs now, right?
Yeah, and I can see
people flip on the white salmon.
You're going over a waterfall. You're going over
even without that, people are flipping and having problems.
And you don't have to make any moves on the white salmon. You just kind of go down the hey diddle diddle right down the middle.
That's not true. There's moves.
Yeah, it is.
But Aaron, one good point that Blue Puma has is you can get the floor sealed for extra, so you don't have to. You don't get full of water. Okay, well, going back. Okay, so what boat? What's your boat of choice then, Aaron?
Anything but an air.
That's ridiculous. That's insane.
Do you want to? Except for, like I said, I love the Puma, the Super Puma. You'd
rather have an NRS boat. You'd rather have an NRS boat that's all floppy and stuck on rocks.
Yeah, and the other thing is like the double layer. I feel like sand gets in between those two layers in the floor. It's gonna rub. It's gonna wear stuff out.
Yeah, I'm tired.
And then you got to deal with the zippers getting all jammed full of stuff. It's more complicated. I'd want something simpler.
I don't own airs for a company, so I mean, I agree with you on a lot of levels. But if we were doing day trips somewhere like the Akoi, I'd probably go air. We just have a whole fleet of them. We deal with the sand. I think technically they're less likely to flip, and they're just technically awesome boats. But what I would say, though, if it was air's behind my list, the Moravias would be pretty sweet out there.
Moravias don't track either. And I just did my last trip with the Moravia. When I do Grand Canyon trips, I row a Moravia because I love how the floors are laced in, or what's that called? Drop stitch floors on the Moravia. Yeah. And they don't have a pressure relief valve that doesn't get full of sand, so you don't have to worry about your pressure relief valve going all the time down there. So I love that for Grand Canyon.
You could also fix them.
It's annoying. And then the other part about the Moravia is nice is the floor stays nice and firm so that your feet don't get wet in it in the evening when you're living on your boat.
We're talking about rafts, and all you can talk about is your feet not getting wet, how heavy they are to carry. Like, the Moravias are durable. They're stiff.
The Moravias don't track. They don't track.
They look cool. Who cares? Learn how to guide without tracking, Aaron.
Well, here's the thing. You go up on a first wave on a really fun wave train, and you get surfed off to one side or the other, and then you miss all the fun waves below it. That's when tracking is helpful. That's
a stupid reason to not like Moravias. It's because you might miss some fun waves.
You miss a lot of fun waves. I like running. I run the Moravia anyways. I'm just saying it doesn't track well.
All right. I'm moving on.
The NRS boats track very well. SOTARs in general track well with I-beam floors. The wing boats seem to track well. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of the I-beam floors for tracking purposes. And the air floors aren't I-beam, and that's one of the reasons they don't track as well. In addition to the
tracking isn't that important to me. Why isn't this working?
Tracking isn't important to you?
No, I've never really thought about tracking that much.
God, that's all I do. Well, it's because you're super huge and strong. You can just move the boat wherever you want. Those of us who don't have huge muscles like yours, we gotta let the boat do more of the work.
All right, this video is not showing for some reason.
Yeah, your computer's not doing so hot today, Zach.
Well, I have a bunch of windows open so that I can
watch that flip thing again really slow, in slow motion.
No. All right, so here we are at tunnel shoot again. We were at tunnel shoot last week. I was told this is last chance, this little thing right here. This little thing above tunnel shoot. And so we have some nice footage here of a flip coming up. Yeah, the old high sides had laced in floors.
Yeah, the old high sides had laced in floors.
And the military valves.
But those high sides track really well too. Those things track like amazingly well. Oh, nice line. Oh,
I forgot how big that hit at the bottom is. And catching the eddy on the right is tough. Like this is not a big eddy. Catching the paddle boat, it's great work catching the eddy. So those of you that don't know, this is tunnel shoot, and we talked about it last week. That tunnel was cut through the rock so that the water is diverted through the chute to dewater some of the river so people can mine it back in the day.
Is there something special we want to see with this video, or is it still coming?
I don't know.
Okay.
Are you bored?
No, I was just wondering if there's something like specific that we were looking
right
for.
There, Aaron, a flip. So
there we go. So yeah, like this eddy is a nice eddy, but it's a deep eddy. It's hard to get out of there quick to go help them.
That's what I was thinking about with this. That's why I like this video. Is that the right place to be? And what's the answer to what just happened here? Like, what would you do right now?
Well, I'm going to back up here and say, go to the Zach Collier favorite thing, boat spacing. Like that boat was way behind the other two boats, which is interesting. Maybe they ran two boats in a row. I don't know, but it seems like if you had closer boat spacing,
fine with that.
If you have
you don't have to eddy out.
You don't have to eddy out. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were able to eddy out, and there's a boat downstream of them
in the eddy. If the
in
boat
the
gets
eddy.
past, if swimmers get past them, then in like what Blue Puma saying here, there's the eddy. I feel like ideally you'd have someone eddy at the top, someone eddy after the tunnel, but ideally you just have people running close enough so that hey, I can slow down if there's a boat behind me that has problems and help them out. But
So
I'd
this
also be a
will-
little worried about people getting stuck. I don't know if people ever get stuck in the eddy here on the right and
Yeah.
don't go through the tunnel. And then if everyone's going through, then that's a problem. So
This is what I'm assuming happened. That boat that was behind them in the eddy, that's downstream of them in the eddy, as soon as they saw the littlest piece of blue come through there, they eddied out. They left the eddy. Eddied in. What's it called when you leave it?
eddied in.
Eddied in.
Eddied in.
So
That's,
the
eddied
moment
in. Go down, eddying in.
that downstream boat, the moment they saw any, like they were ready, they're pointed out, ready to go, that they saw any boat, they're out in front of it to provide downstream safety. And the boat we're in right now is providing safety for the next boat that comes down. What do you think of that?
We'll see how it goes. Let's see what happens. I'm going to
I don't know.
reserve.
My computer's still having problems.
Oh, man. Zach. You and technology.
I'm in my office. I'm in my good computer. I don't know. The internet's slow today. Yeah. Well, anyway, I can tell you what happens, even though we can't watch the video. That's what happens. Oh, here we go. So I like
There
this
we
video
go.
because I was annoyed this boat was in the eddy. I'm like,
Here,
oh, this
this-
boat's useless.
They
But-
catch that person.
Look downstream, and first of all, assuming the tunnel's, it's a little scary, but it's not a big deal. So they pulled that person in, and then the boat that was behind them is now downstream safety, right? And now this boat is providing safety for the next boat coming through.
Are we sure that other boat went? Here they are. Yeah, the other's the other boat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what happens. The boat lower in the eddy, as soon as they saw the flip, they got out, they eddied in. They provided safety for everybody. Now this boat is waiting.
Zach,
to provide
eddied in
safety
is
for
not
that
a
boat.
term, first of all.
I don't know,
Eddy-
whatever it's called, leaving the eddy.
Exiting the eddy, I think. Yeah, they exited the eddy.
Yeah, I think being close to the eddy line is like being ready to go. Like, hey, and I think the other boat was because it got out there. And so I don't have the audio here, but I watched this earlier. I really like this video because he then comes down, the guide, and is like, I have one. He kept saying that, I have one. And so he did pull somebody in, and the guy downstream was probably missing a person. And so it's good to know they have everybody. What do you think, Aaron? So I'm going to say this is Carnage, but this is a good example of mopping it up.
Yeah, I think the one thing I would say is boat spacing. I don't know if that'd be my preferred method with the boat spacing.
You just go like boat. See, my worry is if it's hard to have good boat spacing. The first boat's exposed for sure. So if the first boat flips, there's nobody to save them. So hopefully the second boat's close. But if you have too many boats coming into last chance, and all of a sudden your boat spacing gets too close, you're going to slam into each other in tunnel shoot. So I would want more spacing than normal to avoid any chance of a mid-tunnel shoot collision.
I agree a little more, but not that much. That was a lot.
And I can't remember though.
I would still say if you're the second boat, I'd still want the second boat right behind me.
It's also super flat down here. I couldn't remember what happened after this tunnel, but like, you're not going to lose a swimmer. This isn't like the Akoi where somebody's going to go for days. Like if you have a flipped boat, where are they going to go?
I guess that's a good point. So you can just run it one at a time and not worry about it.
Yeah, that's what I think. The eddy. Yeah, so that eddy you were talking about, you said that earlier. They can, if the boats blow through, and then somebody's just stuck in that eddy, that would be a bummer. So having a boat in that eddy, I think, is key. All right, let's move on. We have more of these to do. Shares.
God, you're really on a mission today, Zach.
Hey, I got a lot of these videos to show that we've been just saving up.
Oh yeah, here we go.
The title of this one has accident in it. Of course, it's buffering. Great.
Hey, where is Clear Creek?
It's Colorado. It's pretty. I think it's pretty hard. People talk about it like I was a Clear Creek guy for 5 years. You know that like that's really a big deal.
I'm gonna say this video doesn't make me think that it's that hard of a river.
It's neither. It's not clear. They call it Clear Creek, but it's not that clear. All right. Why is this taking so long? I really like this video too. Let me see if there's anything I can do to speed this up. Let's
Maybe you should stop download. Wait, you got other stuff going on today? Do you have your phones on through it right now, or is your phone system being used for it?
Yeah, but it's pretty minimal. It could just be that the internet is slow right now. Well, I'm just gonna. I think it's because I have a bunch of these tabs open too. It's maybe that's why. With these different videos. But what happens here? Oh, I don't have to explain it. No, I do. They hit that. They hit that bridge embankment.
Yeah.
Like there's literally a 4 foot wide place you can't be, and they hit the bridge embankment and flipped. That's not good.
Yeah, right. I'm just seeing if I can pull them up real quick.
Oh, do you know how to share videos, Aaron? Are you gonna help with-
No, I just like talking trash about you. That's my favorite thing to do.
Are you gonna help with this at some point?
Yeah.
Does it say? Does it allow you to share the screen?
Yeah, we've done it before, but I've got to find where I could have sent you that one. You
Right,
just send me the link.
this one.
If you just email me the link for it, or
No, I'm not gonna email. My email's closed, so I can help save space.
there you go.
Let's go on to this one. All right, so this isn't rafting. I said rafting Carnage today, but this is what I've been sitting on for a while. This is a kayaker who decides to run a low head dam. Oh no, the guy here is just he hears the guy's in trouble. So this is a rescue guy right here. It's amazing how fast he moves, right? Like he.
Oh.
And so there is zero reasons to run this. Zero. I mean, this is, I guess if you don't like walking, but why is his head down and his arms are moving? But like, maybe because you don't like walking 10 feet or you want to do a little easy boof. That was a nice throw because it didn't get to him. So he didn't get tangled up in it. It was far enough away where he could choose to grab it or not.
I'm going to say this, Zach. For those people who think that you don't need to know how to do a throw bag, how else would you have saved this person without a throw bag?
He'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he was probably pretty tired at that point. This is like those other ones, those other raft rescues that were just side surfing. Like, let's go back. I mean, I just want to watch. This is a sweet video. Like, so there's a guy who ran it. This homeboy here, I don't know what he's doing. Is he thinking about running it? Because he's like, oh, let me make sure the guy's safe. And somebody says something, and homeboy goes just into action. I mean, homeboy on the left there is like not sure what to do. This guy is a real hero. I mean, look out. You don't do it faster than this. Pulls his boat up, knows right where his throw bag is. This is where having quick access to your throw bag is key. At some point, swimmer in the low head is going to get tired and take a gulp of water and be unconscious. So you only have, while he's conscious, to get, I don't know why he's looking down. Still don't get that. To get him the rope. But the rope, the guy is not looking for a rope, which is scary. He's going deep. But putting that rope in front of him, look at that. And then he can see the rope and swim to it. That's a great throw. You don't want to, I wouldn't throw it right to him because if he doesn't see it, he'll get tangled in it, which may not be a worse. Being tangled in the rope might be better because then you can at least pull the person out, I guess. But I like that throw a lot because it was in front of him so he could make a choice.
Yeah. So I used to work some support stuff with this guy at Lake Tahoe Community College, and he used to show these videos of people drowning. And it was full on. But what was amazing about these low head dam drownings, you'd look at them, and the places look pretty benign. Like this one place, the guy could kind of stand up, but his feet would keep getting sucked out from underneath him. And it's like this. It looks pretty mellow, but you don't realize like you just can't get out. And it's not like gnarly like from what we're used to seeing in terms of huge whitewater and stuff like that. But it's just like there's no way out, and you're just going to stay in there and stay in there and stay in there. And I think that's one of the reasons they're so dangerous is they look so placid. They look pretty mellow. Like you look at that spot, you're like, yeah, it doesn't look that bad, but it really is. It's because it's so flat and there's no current exiting from, the only current's exiting out the bottom. So,
I mean, a lot of people die every year in clears and low head dams. It's just a common thing. And they got the paddle there, which is just nice. But this kayak is probably going to be there for a while, right? Like, how long do you think before this kayak comes out?
Well, that's a whole nother getting that kayak out of there. Zach, if they had their little clip on the back of their vest, they could jump in and swim after it.
No way, 0 ways. I would, even with the clip on my vest, go after that kayak.
Nope, I would not do that either. They're trying to like get a bag on it. Yeah, good luck.
I mean, this is again. You make lunch, maybe it comes out, but homeboy who ran this, hey, you lost your kayak, bro. You're hiking out. Like, that's my opinion. Like, you chose to do this incredibly risky thing. Like, you do not own a kayak anymore, and you're hiking out.
Here, Zach, we can go back to that other one.
Which other one? Oh, can you share?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if you can share.
Okay. Hold on, it's just gonna take a second here. It just takes a minute to come up. There we go.
All right, there we go. Good job, Aaron. Wait, it's just a video of us. Oh, okay.
No, not anymore.
Go full screen.
Yep, there we go. Here we go.
Oh, Aaron can actually help.
Yeah, technology. Here we go. So I love the back paddling, and if you get to hear the video on this, he's like screaming at him. Here.
From what I understand, Clear Creek is hard, and so if you can't even miss the bridge embankments,
Can you hear what he's saying right now?
No.
Okay. Because he yelled high side left before it spun to the left, which I thought was a really good move at that part.
Mm-hmm.
The other part I was really impressed with is them swimming to shore. Like, they did a great job of self-rescue. Like this guy here, just boom, 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 swimming to an eddy, get out of the water.
Oh, yeah.
And then this person below, too. They're just swimming, getting themselves out. I really like that. Like, hey, good job of self-rescue.
And now it's probably, like, it was good. Like, who could and couldn't go on this trip? Like, this is a hard trip. So it's like, we need people physically fit. And that's just a good safety talk. If he swims, aggressive self-rescue.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm on the road, I may just teach feet up. But on something like this that's challenging to switch water, I would be like, if you fall out, aggressive self-rescue right away. Get under stomach and swim.
Should we watch it again?
No, I got more videos. Let's move on.
You sure? Because I'm just gonna say this is the classic. The point at your danger and back paddle. I feel like this is what got them in trouble a little bit here. Is they didn't get enough angle. What's your comment instead of that, Zach? What do you say to do?
Oh, pull away from the line to danger.
Yeah.
I mean, so what's happening is we used to teach pull away from danger, right? That's pulling is on the oar. So if I just said pull away from danger, you would point at it and just pull upstream potentially and keep pulling away. But instead, think of there being a line into the danger, pull away from that line, which would mean get 90 degrees to it and pull away from that line, go into the danger.
Yeah. And so I think their problem is they didn't have enough of an angle. They weren't pulling away from that line to danger.
And no
back
angle.
paddling in this case. Yeah. All right. Cool. Do I have to? You can just take it back, can't you? Can't you just be like?
Yeah. You're done. All right. I got 3 more videos. Share screen. This one's awesome. This is the last Boy Scouts in Vicious 69.
Oh, I love this. This is amazing. Let's go full screen on this.
And
you don't need to see us.
It's really too bad you can't hear the audio because, oh, jeez. You got to be kidding me. My computer sucks today.
All right, I think I can find this one too, Zach.
I'm gonna remove one video from my queue. Well, Aaron, I mean,
I got it here.
We're still better than mediocre, but I mean, all right, let's just share it.
Here, hold on there. I got to go to the share button again.
Clear Creek's a lot of fun, pretty tough. I think the 40 you saw there on wetsuits.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me try it again. I'm gonna try something different. We just hold on there. We're learning something here. Share screen. Share audio. I'm gonna share audio this time too.
Yeah, good luck. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta remove that one and add that one.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go here.
Yeah, I hate relinquishing controls because this nonsensical stuff he's doing. No, hey, I'll happily relinquish controls. You got this, Aaron?
Yeah, can you hear it?
No, there's no video. You lost it.
What do you mean? I'm playing it right now. I'm watching it.
I'm not watching it.
You've got to let me in, Zach. You're the
put it back on, Aaron. Come on.
You messed this up.
I did not get rid of it. I did not do it. I literally did not do it. Just add it back in. We'll make this work. Worst.
Okay.
Here we go. So now show this screen of death.
Okay. See if we can hear this. Tell me if you can hear the sound.
I do hear the audio. How'd you do that?
I don't know. It gave me an option at one point when I'm sharing.
That's pretty cool.
Very good. Yeah. Do we just hear the music? Is that what you wanted? Was this music?
I just like the music. So we should probably turn it off though, because we'll get banned for music. So this to me does not seem like the right line I would take. It seems like they accidentally go back to the entrance, Aaron. So have you done Gore Canyon?
Never.
It's this rapid. Pause it really quick. I want to explain this. Everybody talks about Gore Canyon and compares it to Cherry Creek. And they're like, oh, Gore Canyon's really hard. And when I was in California, I'm like, yeah, how hard is it really? This rapid is big and it's full of just nasty rocks. I would much rather run Mushroom than Gore Rapid. I think it's hard and there's a bit of luck involved because there's just so many just shallow rocks and narrow things. It's not something I feel like I could hit 10 out of 10 times. Or like even Mushroom or Lewis's Leap, I feel like I hit that 10 out of 10 times. This is kind of a nasty rapid. And this entrance is just this tiny little beginning of the super long rapid flow of sharp rocks. But they just kind of bounce into a sideways here, which to me seems like the bad way to do it. But you'll see both lines. It sets them up nicely for the next couple of moves. There we go, Aaron. That's just what I want to say. It's a nasty rapid. It's big. And you saw how they just moved him over here to this. There's like 5 ways to run this entrance. And they got the most of it, but got stuck on this rock.
Saw that coming, right?
Yeah, and swimming here is just terrifying. Look at this. It looks like you could get caught in that rock right there and get pinned as a body.
The dude's still holding his paddle, too. Nice work. Yeah. Ooh, there's throw bags. Throw bags. I'm going to say this is a place where I wouldn't mind people just start to throw bags, and hopefully I can grab one. Because, But then
but you don't have the presence of mind. You're just getting shredded down this thing.
There were like a throw bag. 6 throw bags thrown, I think. Yeah. I think so. The boat eddied out nicely, though, huh?
It did. Yeah,
Let's watch that again. Let's watch that boat. Yeah, how'd that boat end up over there? I mean,
when I first put eyes on this rapid, because I was planning to run it, I'm like, it can't be that hard. I portaged the entrance. I put in right about where this boat's flipping. There's a place on River right, the eddy there. I'm like, I don't want to deal with the entrance.
Just the way they pop up every once in a while.
Yeah. Look, Aaron, you got a compliment.
What did I do? I can't see my compliments. What was
yeah.
Good job with technology. Thanks for saving the show.
No, your
Zach,
show's
Zach, do you need to give Zach some instruction on how to use the technology? Is that what it was saying?
basically, yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. This is great because usually you give me a hard time about me not knowing how to use technology. So I'm really excited to be on the other side of this.
Yeah, Gorefest
Nice
August 28th. Yeah, I can't imagine racing through the Gore Rapid. I was impressed. It's a big rapid, and there's a little bit of time before that. I forget the next one's called, but there's a little bit of time after this before our next kind of nasty little portal hole. It's an impressive section of whitewater.
Okay.
There are a lot of ropes in the water.
Are they doing the same thing? Is this the same boat? No,
Different boat. This is.
Oh.
They took the same line. They hit that rock sideways, but it took them to the left there instead.
Well, those people fell out, and that changed their momentum, right? Because the people fell out, pushed the boat maybe back to the left a little bit. I don't know. I'm just
nasty swing.
Yeah, they sacrificed for the team. That's a nice line, though. Otherwise, yeah, they look good. Oh, the person swimming down doesn't look so good. Nice swimming to the eddy too. Like that's some great swimming. Great self-rescue. That's an incredible self-rescue. Yeah.
Kind of have to, but you're just getting, I would think, beat up. These seem to me to be small boats. I think I would want a bigger boat that's more stable. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but
what do you think of their spare paddle rigging?
Is I can't see it that well. But it's on the outside.
Yeah, here we'll go back. It's on the outside. It's
creative.
Yeah, it's on the outside of the tube right here. On the outside, blade towards the back, handle towards the front. It's really out of the way of this paddler in front of him, in front of it. And the nice thing is the guide's got that whole back compartment. They don't have to deal with the paddles. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about the paddles on the thwart in front of you. It actually looks pretty good. I bet you bend more paddles having it out there like that. But it looks pretty good for like, I kind of like it. It's kind of like rigging your spare oar on the outside.
I would think about doing it. You'd have to have the right D-rings. You can't have like a new high side with one D-ring in the back.
Yeah.
The airboats have like barely any D-rings. But if you have the D-rings to pull it off, it's a good idea.
It looks really neat. Yeah, I'm kind of want to look at more detail. I wonder how many paddles they bend and break because of it, because of the boat flexing and whatnot. But yeah, it seems pretty cool. All right, do you want to see some more of this?
Yeah. Well, so now that was Gore, and then another big rapid is Tunnel, which is just this big, nasty drop into a kind of a gnarly hole. I've already watched the video.
This is a mean-looking stretch here.
It really is. I would say I'm more likely to get hurt here than Cherry Creek. Cherry Creek's harder, but I'm more likely to get hurt here. Look at that. Oh.
I didn't expect it to do downstream that way. Like I have to thought it would flip back upstream. That was surprising.
Yeah, the run out here is not too bad. So if you flip, it's not that bad to swim. But
because like right
just,
here,
right here, a violent hit.
I was expecting them to ride up on it and then flip back upstream. I didn't see that coming at all.
How long do you think these boats are?
Oh, 14s.
I think they're like 12 and a halves.
You think they're the smaller?
If they were 14s, I think they do better on both rapids. It's just being small like this on big drops. It's like running a 12-foot raft in Cherry Creek with guests. You would just get pummeled. You get R2 or 12-foot.
Oh, ow. What's the line there? Go up high on the pill?
That's the line. And then this is, okay, I think this is just past Tunnel or somewhere. This is a pour-over hole. This super nat. I think maybe this is just past Gore, if I remember right. But I feel like the line was far left. But the people I was with were like, do not do this. Like, you just do not want to go for this surf.
Okay. All right. You ready to try one, Zach?
Yeah. I got one more and then we're done. Share screen, if it works. One tab. So now we're in the Grand Canyon. Ooh, it's working.
These overloaded cats like this, I'm not a fan.
Especially that it's front loaded.
Oh God, they're so hard to row when they got that much gear in them.
Oh, come on. It's not working.
I don't think I have this one.
Just Google Horn Creek, Greg and Iris. Oh no, it's working. Or maybe I don't know. It's just no. You're a tech guy today. But going back to that cat, I mean, I'm not gonna. These guys are probably expert Grand Canyon boat people, but it just seems like it's very heavily loaded in the bow, right? Like I think it might be good because you punch through holes.
Yeah. Oh, is it working well enough for you? Oh, yeah.
It's working right now.
Okay. If it stops, I found it, but
Okay.
we'll just keep going with this. Gorefest, August 28th. There's no rate, just the race.
There's normally a race, a gore race.
Yeah, there is the race. They're still saying the race is going on. That'd be fun.
Proper scouting technique. Yeah, look at that. Look how that's a heavy cat. You need to tighten up those sidelines a little bit. You don't even need those in Grand Canyon, but whatever. And look at that chair that passenger in the back's in. It's just like a lawn chair.
Looks like they got to cut it off. Did they cut it off? They cut off the back of it too.
They cut looks like cut off the legs.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So he's pulling he's not downstream. He's pulling upstream a little bit, which, that's not going to work that well for you right there.
No, it's spun him. You feel like you want to keep being downstream here, right? Like keep downstream ferrying.
Well, if you're going to cut, you're going to do that line cut behind the rock. Yeah. To avoid the huge.
But this boat is so bow heavy. Once the bow gets through, it kind of pushes through and probably helps it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to do the classic right to left, but the problem is if you don't get far enough left, you're better off going where they go. It's better closer to the rock a little bit. There's like a place where it's worse. So you got to really make the move all the way across, or don't make the move at all. But if you kind of make the move,
that's bad, right?
Like they're in a good spot there.
Okay. Because the hole's just to the right.
Yeah, and the other hole, they went to the left of the other thing. That's I'm not gonna say that's a preferred line because that wall you want to stay away from, but it's kind of funny is like you're making the pull left, and if you do a better job, like not an amazing job, but a better job, you're gonna flip.
So this boat has some good speed, but isn't quite getting left.
No.
Spinnies. Look at that spinny coming loose. There we go.
Yeah, that's the bad spot right there.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a line farther left of that as well.
What's super impressive how fast this person gets back to, they're like ready to get back on the boat.
But the big problem is do they have a flip line on the upside down boat so they can climb onto it? Doesn't look like it, and that's really nice to have.
Just give them a little bit of time, man. They just flipped.
No, I'm saying down there, like those boats are so
nobody does that.
Slimy. What? What'd you say?
You say nobody does that. Nobody. Go back. Can you go back to the beginning of that one?
Oh, sorry. I'm. Is this me? No, you're sharing this, Zach. You're.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. I was used to you being in charge. Sorry. Oh, my computer's not working. Yeah, we're pretty mediocre today.
What do you want to watch? I can bring it up on mine again.
It's fine. But my point is, like, I like the fact that last person got to the end of their boat super fast. And you're probably right. They don't have lines to pull themselves in on the ends, but they quickly got there. They're going to get a couple breaths, and they're set up for success to jump on that upside down boat.
Yeah, no.
That's the key. You don't know that there's not lines there, Aaron, by the way. You don't know that. You're just guessing.
I looked. It didn't seem like there was a line.
You couldn't see that one.
I'm going to say I like to run, particularly in this section on the Grand Canyon, and when you're running Horn, Granite, Hermit, having a flip line along the bottom of my boat. I like running one.
The length of the boat, upside down boat.
Yeah.
So when you show up to guide a trip, you're like, hey guys, can I turn my boat upside down and throw a flip line on it?
No, you don't have to turn it upside down to do it. I can do it while it's right side up.
How?
I tie a bowl in on a D-ring on one end.
Don't trip me like this.
And then kind of pull it around underneath.
Don't be demeaning.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying a bowline because we love our bowlines. But okay. I tie a bowline on D-ring on one end.
Got it.
And particularly the NRS boats, they have ones that are farther lower down, which are nice. And then I just, I've got like a long piece of webbing, and I just kind of bring it around the side and then tuck it under and pull up on the other side. And then I have an old locking carabiner that's like busted closed that I have on the other end of it. And then I run a cam strap from that carabiner to the other D-ring. And so I can get it nice and tight with that cam strap, and I can adjust it easily when I need to. So does that make sense?
Right.
And just,
do you do this on a concrete floor or just on dirt? Or
No,
are you doing the water?
I do it in the water.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, got it. So you have this in your rig bag. This is just something you carry.
Yeah.
You're like, I know I want this flip line.
It's
I'm
kind
gonna
of
attach this to the boat
expected.
that I'm in.
It's expected with the outfitter I work with down there with Azra that you I mean, most people do it. It's not like you have to, but it's kind of like.
But it's pretty standard. So it's pretty standard.
If you're like, oh, you're not running a flip line, huh? Better not flip, man. You know, it's like.
And that's mainly so you can get on the boat. So when you flip, you can quickly get yourself on the boat. And this is a flip line along the length of the boat.
Yeah.
Bow to stern. You wouldn't think about putting little things to grab in the holes.
I mean, you could do that too, but the bow to stern's is nice because it's easy and guests can actually use to get up on top of the boat. Like that's much easier for them to go to the end, find the line, climb up the line.
And do you have the guests climb up the line too, or do you say, "Hey, climb up that line"?
If they can, yeah. Once again, Zach, I'm going to save my back. You know,
they're not going to pull your guests in.
Yeah, I'm not if I don't have to. No, and if there's another guest to pull the guest in, I'd let them do it.
You got to go to the gym.
What? What'd you say?
Everything with you is like to save my back. Go to the gym, do some squats. I mean, dude.
I mean, it's easy for you. You're an outfitter. You come out for like a trip or two a year, pulling all those people in all season. You know, it wears you down after a while.
I'm about to do 2 trips, and I've been lifting weights for the past 2 weeks. Just as I'm getting older, I'm like, man, I can't just show up off the couch and do some of these things. I've been hitting it pretty hard every day just to get in shape.
No, you definitely. Yeah. That's funny. I've been thinking about starting to lift. Unfortunately, I don't have a good place to do that right now. So
P90X, man. I'm telling you, that's Tony Horton.
Have you looked at the shoes he uses in that? He uses the old 510 River Tenny. He's actually has a.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. Look at the P. Yeah, I'm serious. I was like, wait a minute, because a friend of mine who I used to coach rifle with was showing it to me one day. I'm like, he's wearing the 510 River Tenny. What the hell?
I've never seen that. I've done a lot of P90Xs. I've never seen 510 River Tennies. Speaking of that, before we close this thing up, river shoes right now. Anybody out there have what are people using for river shoes? I've been thinking about this a lot. I just did a Gear Garage on some Arc'teryx running shoes that we're using, and a lot of our guides have bought these Arc'teryx running shoes that are mesh. They grip pretty well on rock and protect your feet really well. But does anybody make river shoes with 510 rubber anymore?
Adidas.
You talking about those big orange ones?
Adidas bought 510, so Adidas has their rubber now. And actually, I was just working a trip again with our friend Billy Prosser, and Billy she bought a pair of the Adidas, and she's like they've been holding up way better than the Astrals. They've been holding up all season. And I was like, how's the rubber? And she's like, really good. She's been very pleased with her Adidas, which I was like, oh, I'm gonna check those out. So,
So here's the thing, I don't mind the Astrals wearing out that much. It's fine. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They just don't grip like they used to.
Really?
Yeah, they just I think they used to have 510 rubber, really good rubber, but I'm slipping a lot more with my when I'm wearing Astrals. Are these the ones she wears? Because I wouldn't be cut dead in these.
No. She just wears a low top. She doesn't wear those ones. No. She just wears a low top, more of a running shoe style with a really soft rubber on it. It's a low top. Adidas. It might be the Adidas Teryx or something like that.
Those are Teryx.
Wait,
I'm googling it right now.
Adidas Teryx.
There's one more that some of our
the fourth one over. The fourth one over, maybe. It's a low top.
This one?
I think it looked maybe more like that. I'm not sure. It was. It's hard to be. They're kind of beat up. They had a season on them. I'll have to ask her which one she had, but she really.
Brody just got these and he hasn't worn them yet, but they're only $65.
Whoa!
And if they have 510 rubber, look at that, $65. You can't. There's none of my size. They only have size 6 right now. One pair is size 6, so maybe they didn't getting rid of them. But let's get some workout and be smart to save your back. Thanks, Mark Rivers. Come a PT, come a DPT, come a badass. I mean, he would know. He's a PT. All river. That's my point. All river shoes suck now.
The thing is, they've always said, because the problem is that if a good river shoe is going to have a soft sole on it, and the soft soles, the glue does not hold well to the soft soles, and that's the trip. And that's why a lot of the companies stop using the softer soles because they keep delaminating and they have so many problems with them. So they go to a harder sole that they can keep on there.
The thing is, you're not going to get everything. Here, let me rephrase it. You're not going to get a shoe that is like a shoe and comfortable and looks cool and drains fast and is durable and grips on rock. But what's the single most important thing for a good river shoe?
Well, I think there's two.
What are they?
Grips on rock and easy to swim in. Like not too much drag. Sure. Like I think those two, in my mind, you want them to stay on when you swim and you don't want a lot of drag.
Yeah. But grips on wet rock, not just rock.
Yeah.
And right now, what does?
The Adidas, I've been hearing good things about the Adidas. The Bedrock sandals and the Merrell footwear. And I'm sorry, Andrew.
Okay, Bedrock sandals are like,
they're super
people
cool.
Like them. They're cool. But they're barely shoes. I mean, I don't think they're appropriate personally to guide in because it's just a couple of straps on your foot. It's not foot protection. I mean, Chacos have thicker soles. They're just minimal. They're like flip flops with like.
Well, I'm gonna say in general, guiding in sandals is like you're guiding in sandals. Like
we did it for years. I think
it's hard to take people serious when they guide in sandals on hard rivers.
I'm okay with Chacos because Chacos have arch support because you're lifting heavy things. They're thicker soles. They stay on your feet pretty well.
You still though, like if you're trying to effect a rescue in in knee deep water, you're way better off closed toed shoes that you can just beat around in, and you don't have to worry about your foot placement. You can just feel with your foot and go. So
I agree, totally agree. People can guide in Chacos and I'll take them seriously. Bedrock sandals, I probably won't take them seriously. I'm sorry, and Merrell barefoot. I'm sorry, Andrew. I don't want to be mean, but like. No.
Well, those two. I actually like both of those. I think they're great general. I could see them great general guiding shoes. I just don't.
That's what we're talking about.
The wet rock, but the wet rock, they're not good on the wet rocks, and that's my.
I think they're good for camp.
They're good for. I mean, that would be fine on the Grand Canyon, right? You're in sand and you're in your boat. You're not walking around your rocks trying to like portage boats or line boats or whatever, dealing with rafts or getting boats off. Like a river like that, yeah, sure. But a river where they're like you're worried about running around the rocks, I that one does look really heavy, and but that shoe looks good, and I think they got some other ones. So
this one here,
I don't like that one. I like the Terex, the low top. I'm a low top guy.
Yeah, one of my guides has these. He wears them occasionally when he's getting like deadheading on the middle fork. It's kind of nice to have shoes like this. Yeah. Just you can just put your feet and push, but they're heavy.
And I don't think they have you don't have to flex in the ankle for kicking properly. Like you can't, you know what I mean? Like you can't point your toes very well in them. And when you're kicking, trying to swim, you want to point your toes.
It's probably hard to swim in those. I think you're right.
What's the
Teva Churn?
Yeah. What's the Teva Churn?
I'm pretty sure. Well, it's no longer available. So
that's a good looking sole. That's a good looking shoe. Looks nice. What's the sole like on it? You know what? There was a shoe. It
says offers grippy traction and quick draining performance, but does it really? It says spider rubber. We know spider rubber is good rubber.
Yeah,
but it's no longer available.
When we used to work those Fuda trips, we used to do this canyoning where we go up this side canyon, and you go jump rock to rock, and you look at people's footwear. And in general, the people who you'd be like, okay, 5'10", you're okay. Keens, you're screwed. Don't follow us. Go down the base. Like I'd have to take off my 5'10s and give them to people in Keens to get them back down sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Eric used to make people buy 5'10s up on the trip.
And I think that's one of the things that actually kind of agree with him. But that shoe that you just showed, I saw some people show up with that shoe and it worked well. And then there was
the Teva Churn.
The Teva Churn. Actually, that was the shoe. And that one actually worked. I was surprised how well that one worked. And then the La Sportiva that they used to work really well. La Sportiva used to have that canyoneering low top, which I thought was a great shoe. It's probably the best one.
Someone's making a shoe that's felt. I mean, felt on a river shoe.
Well, felt's a problem. You know why felt's a problem though? Is like you're trying not to bring stuff from one river to another river drainage. So basically, you're not supposed to be using felt anymore. My understanding is from a conservation perspective to stop like the mussels and all those other things being transmitted from one river corridor to another. And that's a problem with felts is you can't get them clean enough. Yeah, there we go.
And Andrew. Can you really have felt in a river shoe? Like, is that realistic?
Oh yeah. Dennis Johnson, DJ, he was all about the felt on the bottom of his soles because felt is really good traction on wet rocks. It's incredible.
That seems like nonsense to me.
The old fishing guys, all the old fishing folks use them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the problem with Chacos now is that here's they just don't grip like they used to. They used to be great gripping shoes. I wore them for years, but they don't have that. They used to have Chacos with 510 rubber, sticky rubber, and they just don't grip. I see them around town now. Like I was just went and got a drink, and 3 people were in Chacos in line at the coffee shop. So Chacos, I feel like personally, are almost made for walking around Hood River and going to the coffee shop. They're not made for us on the river that are like jumping around the wet rocks. So
it's about time for someone else to come out with a new river shoe that's meant for rivers, and then it'll become mainstream, and it can become junky.
Like Teva did that. Teva, like back in the day, we all had Tevas. They were awesome. We ran them forever, and then Tevas started getting crappy, and then Chaco came in. Everybody had Chacos, and then right about the time Chacos got old, Astrals came in. People started wearing shoes more, and Astrals used to have great grip under rocks, but now they're not gripping under rocks. Then Bedrock came up, but I don't know. Bedrocks are just too flimsy, I think. And right now, there needs to be the new Cavignolo shoe or something.
I think the Adidas. I think that if I were to buy a shoe right now, I think it'd be the Adidas. I mean, I'm still
Which
nursing
one?
along the low top Terex one.
The one I sent you, there's no low top Terex.
Yeah, the one that you said there's only size 6.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, if you can get it.
I think some other ones. I'm sure they'll have more out next year. I'm still nursing a pair of my old 510 River Tennies along, actually. So I got those. And then my brother, I gave a pair to my brother. He's got the same size shoe as me. And he's never used this. So I'm going to steal them from him. He doesn't know. I'm going to switch them out sometime soon here. Give him a moment.
The River Tennies are cool. I liked them. They're just a little bit more work to take on and take off, and your feet stay wet all day. It really holds the water in. So the one thing I like about these again these Chaco ones still, or these Chaco Odysseys, they look like they're cool, but they also look like they're designed by a committee, and they probably, I'm guessing, don't grip on rock that well. But yeah, stealth rubber on 510 Adidas is pretty sweet.
I always feel like they just get rocks in them too easily, and you get these rocks that get stuck in them, and you can't get the rocks out.
Yeah. So here's a shoe we've been running this season. And
Arc'teryx, was it like $500 per shoe or something?
It's $160 for these shoes. And the grip, this isn't stealth rubber, but it's pretty good.
Arc'teryx makes great products. I mean,
and you see, like these meant as lightweight running shoes, but this mesh here isn't cotton, so they dry out really fast. Like if you're rowing and you haven't got wet for like an hour, your feet will be dry. Whereas if you have your 510s on, that cotton or whatever it is will just continue to keep your feet wet, and there's no insole. Like the insoles get wet and covered up. So like they're not the ultimate rock rubbers, but you know that. You're like, I'm not going to take that big step I normally might take. They're good. They're probably a little bit better than Chacos, but they're not 510. They're really not stealth rubber.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the stealth rubber. I mean,
but you can't get it, Aaron.
Yeah,
if you had to buy a pair of shoes in size 6.
Well, I would say this. I would buy those big clunkers. I guess that's my first. I would buy the big.
You'd buy those big clunkers over these rad looking things.
Yep. If
you can't swim in the big clunkers.
Yeah, I think I will say I put being my ability to walk around on wet rocks before that. I think that's the most dangerous thing we do, particularly if you're on a hard river where you're doing portages and lining. And
you would wear these as a guide, Aaron. You would put these on as a guide and wear them around. You'd be like, "Hi, I'm Aaron Cavignolo. I'm your river guide today."
Yep. You would. With my sun hoodie and my white face maketh on. Yeah, you bet.
You'd inspire confidence.
And
look at me my moon boots.
Shorts. Yeah.
You can just show up with your sunscreen on your face and your capri shorts and your moon boots, or we can show up in a pair of jeans with these bad boys and a cowboy hat. Who do you think is going to get the respect of guests and guides?
Yeah, I don't think that goes well with the jeans, Zach. Just to let you know, in the cowboy hat. No.
Okay, with some nice wear these with some nice board shorts and a button-up shirt and a visor.
You look like a runner who doesn't know what they're doing, doesn't belong out there. Yeah.
All right. We've said a lot of stupid things the past 10 minutes.
Agreed. Boom. Agreed. Yeah, and I don't like the high top. Just for me personally, I'm not a big fan of high tops. I don't like the mobility is too limited. But if you're like walking in rivers a lot, I could see it'd be nice.
Say that again. What are you talking about, Aaron?
if you're like walking in rivers a lot, I could see having the high top to protect your ankle so you don't get bashed against rocks. It would be nice to have.
I think these are sweet for canyoneering. I mean, this is what
exactly.
you want on that Food LeFou canyoneering thing. I think river guiding is just a little hard. I mean, just think about like making lunch
it's a
on a hot
shoe.
day.
It's a
on a hot day. You're making lunch, or you have these shoes that are holding water against your foot all day long, and then you're standing in a puddle while you're making lunch. I mean, I don't know. I think it would be hard to guide these.
Well, I'm not going to use those on a trip where I'm stopping to make lunch like that.
These are pretty sweet. I mean, and bro, I think I said Brody got these.
They look good.
They have.
Those, let's be honest. Those look way better than those yellow. Those like awful yellow.
Look at these drain holes, though. You see those drain holes?
Ooh, that's interesting.
I mean, they're pretty. This is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
My guess is they'll stop making them because that's what Adidas does. They make something cool that not enough people buy, and then like, oh, we thought we'd sell more, and I mean, $65. That's ridiculous. I don't know what the Ultra Olympic. I see somebody pointed that out to me the other day. Anyway, sorry to get us on a tangent. I'm kind of annoyed by shoes right now because I don't know what the ultimate shoe is anymore.
One of my best pair of river shoes ever. Some people bought some at like Payless or something like that for $5, and they left them after a trip, and they were like the super cheap ones. But for some reason, the soles were really soft on the bottom, and they dried out really quick. They were amazing. I used them for multiple seasons. It was I tried to find another pair of them because they were so good. I think sometimes you just get lucky with it, but it's not like other. Well, I feel like outdoor products in general. This is true, Zach. Is there's very few things that are consistently good. And you look at I think that's one of the reasons that Kokatat is special. Is Kokatat's made great dry suits for a long time, and they really haven't messed them up. Mm-hmm. And you look at so many products where they just like, oh, we're going to do this and this, and you're like, okay, yeah, that was a great product. Now you try to make it cooler. Now you're not going to sell any of them because no one wants them.
And Kokatat just changed ownership. That's what happens. I think is like somebody builds something in a factory in the U.S. They make it really high quality. It's the best out there. We all buy it. And then eventually they sell it, and somebody wants to build and grow the brand and sell more stuff. And they skimp on something. They say, hey, let's stop paying extra for the stealth rubber and let's get the super rubber instead, and it'll sound the same. It'll stay the same. But yeah, I think that's the point. Is like when you build a really awesome shoe, it's hard to stay busy or just make good money. I mean, you can make the best shoes forever and barely scrape by. At some point, you're like, I want to cash in and send my kids to college and retire.
This is a good point. I think you do. You need different shoes. You need your quiver of river shoes.
Yeah, Aaron,
how often do you guide in flip flops?
10 minutes a year.
Really?
I
guide in flip flops a lot.
On the river.
Oh, totally, all the time.
No, you don't. Oh, the Grand Canyon, maybe.
No.
The Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon, Selway.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that. That's not acceptable to guide.
The Rogue, all the time on the Rogue. No. Oh God,
no,
yes.
It's not. It's unacceptable to guide in flip flops.
Why?
What if you swim? What if you have to affect you just talked about? What if you have to affect a rescue? You can't affect a rescue in your flip flops.
You can totally
no. You maybe Aaron, you can. Maybe you as Aaron, you have the best flip flop retention of anybody. You can save the day in your flip flops. But what you're doing hold on, Aaron, let me finish. Aaron, you can say your thing in a second. When you then are setting an example for young guides who don't have your abilities, next thing you know, there's a bunch of 22-year-old second-year guide dummies wearing flip-flops, and that's a problem.
I agree.
Say your piece.
I'm going to say this a couple things. First of all, I will wear my flip-flops for a lot of the river, and then I'll put on shoes for the bigger rapids.
No, you won't. And I don't care. It doesn't matter. An accident can happen anywhere. Aaron, an accident can happen anywhere.
Well, and yeah, that's why you need to have helmets on when you guys are in camp. No. Helmets.
Then I want to see you wearing a helmet and shoes next time you run the road. But okay. Aaron, when guides see you setting that example on the road on the easy parts, they will take that and then do it the whole time. They don't know that you're changing shoes. So I don't think you should be guiding in flip flops.
Well, and then let's talk it for a second then. If I'm wearing flip flops and you're wearing Chacos or the Bedrocks, is the equivalent of you wearing Bedrocks and me wearing 510s. It's the same gap. It's the same difference.
Say that. I don't understand. Say that again.
It's an analogy. Me wearing my flip-flops to you wearing Chacos is the equivalent of you wearing Bedrocks to me wearing my 510 shoes. Like that's it's the same.
There's one.
It's the same difference in performance.
I'm not going to condone Bedrocks either because they're so
flimsy.
Chacos, but they stay on your feet. Chacos. I'm not going to wear Chacos either. I don't even own any Chacos. I own like 8 pairs. Talking about Quivers of river shoes. I own 8 pairs of river shoes. I have river shoes for every high water, low water, boat dragging, sweet boat driving, kayaking, play boating. I just have a bunch of shoes because I don't have one I like, right? And like my play boating shoes don't work when I'm guiding anyway. It's a whole thing. I have a million shoes. I have 0 Chacos.
I don't own a pair either.
So like I don't condone Chacos.
Sandals, I'm wearing flip flops. That's my point.
But all
if I'm wearing sandals, I'm wearing flip flops. If I'm wearing
you just skip. Shoes. You go straight from like your baller shoes down to flip flops.
Yeah, exactly. One end or the other. Either
wear your baller shoes. Hey, Aaron, when you're private boating and you're responsible for yourself, wear your flip flops. When you're commercially guiding, looking out for people, you gotta wear shoes, bro. And I already know what your answer is. In the Grand Canyon, you guys are doing things differently. Wear your flip flops there. Do whatever you need to do. But like on the road, you gotta wear shoes. Think of all those ARTA road guides who now are wearing flip flops on the river because they saw Aaron Cavanillo do it once.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I want this on the spreadsheet. I'm definitely right on this one.
I agree with you in one sense, but more my point with all this is
I agree with you, period.
No, I'm going to say this, Zach, is I actually do wear shoes a fair amount on the road. But my point is that I think there's a difference between flip-flops and like Chacos, but I think that same difference is between Chacos and a closed-toed shoe.
I agree. No, I agree with that 100%.
And my point is my average protection is way higher than Chacos.
Okay, Aaron, if you were to work for me and you told me your whole plan, I would think to myself, that's fine or whatever. But I'd also think to myself, who else is guiding this trip? And will you make an impact on their decisions in the future? And I'd be like, I'd say no to you. You can't wear flip-flops because I know other people will look at your example.
Am I allowed to wear flip-flops in camp?
Yes, absolutely.
Am I allowed to wear, here's a question. Am I allowed to wear flip-flops at put-in and takeout?
Yeah, I'm not excited about it, but it's different.
Here's the other thing: is I wear closed-toed shoes at put-in because I think it's much safer there, and I think you need closed-toed shoes when you're doing put-in.
What you need at put-in and takeout is arch support.
Well, and also protect your toes.
So I like somebody wearing
something solid.
If I see somebody wearing flip-flops at put-in and takeout, and 2 weeks later they're complaining about their back, I'm like, yeah, because you're lifting heavy things in flip-flops.
Well, and let's be honest, you can't work as hard. You can't work as fast.
Yeah, exactly. Like all those guys wearing flip-flops are just basically like not putting in their fair share. No. So like I'll wear shoes and socks normally when I'm at put-in.
But Zach, that's my coming back to that's kind of my point is like I think it's more important to be wearing shoes at put-in than wearing shoes floating through Huggins Canyon.
No, what you're saying is no. I think the most important time to be wearing shoes that stay in your feet is when you're guiding on the river, because that's when you have responsibility for people's lives. When you're at takeout and you might stub your toe, I'm like, okay, that sucks. You stubbed your toe. I'd rather have you wear shoes on the river when you could be affecting a rescue, whether it's your guests or somebody else's, a private boater you run into or a friend you run into. You're not going to be a rescue squirrel in your flip flops, and so you are less effective.
Where do people get hurt? Where do people get hurt?
Where do people die, Aaron? Let's ask that question. Where do people die?
Let's just say back up. Where do people get hurt?
The interaction between the raft and the shore.
Yes, that's an important place to wear your shoes.
Particularly
when you're carrying heavy gear.
I agree, but when you're wearing your flip flops, you still are at the interaction between the boat and the shore. You don't
Not really.
You don't pull over. You don't pull over in an eddy and then put your shoes on and then tie your boat up. You still have to interact with the shore when you're like.
Yeah, it's one thing to tie your boat up. It's another thing to be carrying heavy gear back and forth from the boat.
Aaron, my point is that my take is you should be wearing shoes a lot.
Me too.
Right,
just not Huggins Canyon. Just not in Huggins
No.
Canyon.
So, okay, Huggins Canyon is the one place you can take your shoes off, put your flip-flops on, and when you're done, take your flip-flops on and put your shoes back on.
What rapid? When do you need to put them back on down below there?
There's a rapid down there.
Solitude?
Yeah, again, your setting is. I'm done talking about this. Everybody knows that you're full of nonsense right now.
Oh.
Like, it'll take a long time to go. I mean, you know what, the bigger thing, I've been around enough evacuations of people puncturing their foot.
Yes.
So, puncturing your foot is actually, like, everybody's like, oh no, if I puncture my foot, I can still walk around.
No.
It turns out if you puncture your foot, you might have to get evacuated.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, for me, in camp, you need to wear shoes, no barefoot, because you might step on something that could put a puncture in your foot, which is debilitating. The rolling the ankle isn't even the thing; it's the puncturing your foot. But the same thing on the river. If you swim, Aaron, and you lose a flip flop, you then could puncture the bottom of your foot.
Yeah, no, what? You're not hitting things.
And then if you swim to shore, Aaron, hold on. Then you swim to shore and self rescue. And what are you gonna do? Stand on shore?
I agree. That's the part. I agree. Zach, that's the part that's a problem. And
if you jump off your boat to go save somebody, and you lose a flip flop and you're walking barefoot, you're gonna puncture your foot. So
do you wear helmets when you're getting towed across the reservoir?
I don't get towed across reservoirs anymore.
But would you?
No.
Okay. I think there's a place where you're concerned about. I think this is judgment versus policy, and like there's a judgment thing. Like you have judgment and understand. But I'm going to go back and Zach, my main point about all this, and like, yeah, being a little bit absurd, but the big purpose of all of it is I think I want people to think about it. It's like, hey, at put in and take out, you want to be wearing shoes. You're carrying heavy gear. You want to be wearing shoes. Yes, to keep yourself from rolling your answer, and yes, to keep from putting a stick through your toe, but also because you're carrying this heavy boat above your head with 5 other people, and you're going to have better stability with those, and you're much more less likely to hurt yourself or somebody else. And I think like wearing shoes and that's more important.
Aaron, we both agree on that. Where we disagree is you want to wear flip-flops when you're being a professional river guide.
Well, I'm saying, Zach, you let your guides wear flip-flops at put in, but you require them on the river, and I think it should be vice versa, both or vice versa.
I let them wear flip-flops, but I also give them the stink eye. I put it in takeout.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, hey, come on, really? And because they're not likely to hurt themselves. And they're not likely.
Come on,
Aaron,
Zach. We've seen so many doors.
Have you seen? Go to put-ins. There's a lot of people barefoot. If people are barefoot at put-in, that bothers me. As long as they have something where they're not going to puncture their foot, I feel good. But on the river, it's not about your personal safety. It's about other people's safety. The reason you're wearing shoes is for other people's safety. It's like carrying a throw bag.
And that's why.
Wait, hold on. Arnie tends to agree with me. Look at this. Closed-toe shoes. There's reports having a throw bag while guiding. Yeah, Aaron, what do you think about Aaron's flip-flops?
He's saying shoes, closed-toed shoes. He's saying not Chacos. He's agreeing with me.
Okay, let's finish this up because I'm already bored. And I think Blue Puma is concluding it well. I'm going to say,
yes,
it's best practices to wear shoes at put-in, at takeout, on the river, and in camp, not being barefoot. So if you want to wear your 5'10" finger
cooking in the kitchen, aren't you supposed to wear shoes in the kitchen?
No, I don't know.
If you work a commercial kitchen, you're not allowed to wear flip-flops in a commercial kitchen.
Is it why to protect your foot, or because your foot fungus is going to come up?
Protect your feet.
Yeah. I've thought about that. You got me on that one. Anyway, so that's the problem. Is all the shoes suck except maybe these Terex Boat S Ready water shoes. If Arcturus can figure out how to make more than size 6, that would be sweet. 1/2 decathlon, non-closed heel river sound.
Ooh, there you go.
You don't want that in the middle of the Frank Church River of No Return wilderness. That's for sure.
No, you don't. Definitely don't. No, that's why you
a foot injury
for all the rapids.
A foot injury in the wilderness ends up being not fun for you and everybody else. Like if you hurt your foot, you've now become luggage, and you can't cook, you can't carry things. You basically are not a member of the team. So if you want to do that at home walk around barefoot, but I feel strongly that in the wilderness, protecting your feet is important.
On the middle fork. There you go.
In the middle of the Frank Church.
So no guiding barefoot. Is that what I'm hearing, Zach? You don't
Yeah.
know how to get that.
I mean, our crew. I'm very judgment based. I rarely set policies, but wearing something in camp no barefoot in camp, shoes that stay on your feet on the river, like no sandals in the river. That's policy, and our guides know how passionate. That's why I'm so passionate.
No sandals on the river. That's a policy.
You can wear sandals in the river. That's stay on your feet. Like you have to wear something in your feet in camp, and then whatever shoe you wear in the river has to stay on your foot if you swim. It can't be a flip flop. And everybody's very clear that they know that like shoes are better. I mean, shoes also for like on a multi-day, the way you keep yourself from getting cracks is wear shoes and socks in camp.
Mm-hmm. Totally
like if you switch out of your river shoes and put shoes and socks on in camp, that like foot protect as a guide over the
dry out a little bit, put on some nice clean cotton socks.
Yep.
Yeah.
But instead, if you go for hiking or flip flop, if you hike down a Loon Creek in your flip flops for half a mile or whatever, and do that day after day, do all your hikes in sandals, you're gonna get nasty foot rot.
No, I'm in agreement. The shoes in camp definitely help protect your feet over the long haul.
Yeah, I don't require it. I just am like, hey guys, here's some things to think about. Well, Aaron, this has been just the best show ever.
That was an amazing conversation about shoes. That was fabulous. I think we
crushed that out.
We got to the bottom of it, and we got a lot of good feedback too. So thank you guys, appreciate it.
Before I let you close down, I want to say I'm going to be on the river for a few weeks now. So our next show probably won't be until September 3rd. So we're probably maybe the end of August, but doubtful. Probably September 3rd. So we're going to take a little bit of a break in August, and then we'll come back more mediocre than ever here pretty soon.
Well,
I mean, it's really
Zach's whitewater rafting shoe show.
I feel like we had to talk about shoes in a previous episode.
I think shoes need to be revisited because it's always changing and you can't get the same shoes. So I think it's good to come back to it. And I think it's good for people to think about I would say life jacket and shoes in my mind are the two most important pieces of safety equipment you carry.
More important than helmets?
Yeah.
More important than throw bags?
Yep.
More important than CPR masks?
Yeah. Yes. Do you use them every day, all the time? Everyone. Yeah. Thanks, Roddy. All right, so are we at the end? And oh man, till September. Well, you guys are sorry to hear that, Zach. You're gonna have to be on the water.
You can figure out how to do without me.
Maybe. Yeah.
You got the technology figured out.
Yeah, it's more having someone to banter with. It's hard to find someone that I can talk trash to and that doesn't get offended. So
I'm offended. Don't worry, I'm offended. But I'll just cry later.
Let me rephrase that. Someone who I'm not worried about offending. I don't care if they're offended.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, hey, guys, thanks again for tuning in. Really appreciate all your feedback. And if you haven't done so yet, please hit the like button, subscribe, and, of course, turn on notifications so you can get notified anytime Zach adds anything new to his channel. If you do have any video that you'd like us to review or you'd like to share with us, you can, or have questions, you can send that to me, Aaron, at riversandoceans.com. That's AARON at riversandoceans.com. And Zach, thanks for the great show. This was a lot of fun.
Yep. See you next time, Aaron.